6,387. Plus, we will have 25 from the town in May, middle of May, which will become available July 1. And the replanting is 1,500, so. Donors have been thanked, and these are more donors that have come in since then. So these are my thank you note pile. So our finances are good. And the other remaining from last time, it was the whole issue with that white oak turning out to be a red oak. Oh, it's been wintering next to my house. I still need to find a place to put it. And I need to find someone to dig a hole too. That's the other. I know you guys. Yeah, did your properties, so that's great. I need to find. I think we have two people on the door and now. Workers. Yeah. Yeah.
It'll require equipment in it.
It's a bucket. It's a 20-gallon bucket.
So like an auger might do it.
It could be hand done. It's a right kind of soil.
Position.
Looks back in the shovel, I'm pretty sure you could get it.
I have seen that, yes, and then usually you run into glacial tilt.
Yeah. Or you run into places that have been crapped over, used prior by some building or something.
I couldn't believe it.
Kinds of chunks of concrete and all sorts of things.
Asphalt.
Yeah. Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the minutes of last
So
meeting?
moved.
Okay, none. Bill called me this morning and he gave me his report. The MMA trees were removed winter of 23-24. He gave me those numbers: 17, 28, 29, 38, 39, 4, 55. The bunch. And then winter of 24, which actually happened in January, were 42, 43, 44, 46. And those were all untreated trees.
Down at the bottom.
And then he took down one untagged 10-inch elm. And I think that was in those mutes.
Yeah, I've got plans to get all the stumps ground, but I think you guys still have a stump on Pleasant Street by ROTC there that I would assume that the elm tree may be paying for that grounding of that. What's right.
I didn't know we had one left over. Yeah. So that's something Dave didn't get to, or was it?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's on his plans when he comes back or whatever.
Is that the homeowner across the street?
That's right in, it's right where you park there in front of ROTC. I think it's that building, but it's on that side there. It's not
on the sidewalk.
Yeah, right in the or just off the sidewalk, into the parking area of the road.
Oh. Okay, we'll make a note of that. Stone. ROTC.
So. Are the 5 trees that are referred to in the second line underneath or completed, are they the 5 trees that are listed down below, including the untagged?
42, 43, 44, 46.
Right,
Yes.
that's at the
And the
bottom,
untagged hybrid.
that's at the bottom.
Yes, those are on his list here, but the previous numbers I had not gotten from him yet.
Right, and I'm curious to know, just because it's 5, MMA 5 trees need tags, removed May 7th.
Five trees need to, those are the other ones that are 17, 28, 29, 38, 39. That was 5 trees was my sort of target guess. I think I wasn't quite sure. But they were the ones that were removed in the prior fiscal year, 23-24. So May 7th of 24. prior fiscal year.
What numbers?
17, 28, 29, 38, 39, 4, and 55. Also, he took down town trees numbers 289 and 349, and I think he's referring to. Yeah, 349 is the clinic. Behind the clinic, and I don't know from what funds Karen dips into for that. I don't know if it's our money or whether it's clinic money. I don't know. I have to ask her about that.
All right, so it's listed at the bottom.
349 is
No, that's the clinic.
Ashton. 289 is Ashton, and then 349 is the clinic. So those are those two. So those are all accounted for now, for removal. And then he will be pruning overnight, since the next couple of weeks. The pruning is gonna be at the Wilson Museum, because I have an elm right in front of that building and it's tickling the roof. Barbara Cooper, who is on Lower Paratine, has a elm that's beautiful, but it's a very interesting one. It looks almost like Japanese. It's like low and wide, and it's touching her roof, and that's they get pruned. And then there's one up at David Lee's at the top of Main, opposite the MMA. Granite sign there. Yep. It's gonna get pruned. And then it's a matter of all these observation ones here too. It's really the ones that are left to do. And then the Castine tree at the bottom of Pleasant. That's kind of consult with CMP, that's still an ongoing thing. So most of this list has been taken care of. Except the observation, we've just gotta see who leaks out in the spring, whether they leak out. I keep looking up at these trees if I'm driving near them to see. Their buds, they have a little tabernacle, I was like, oh, yeah, maybe, it's hard to tell, but right now they should. Well, in the next month, I think next month, you'll see the buds start to swell. So you'll know whether they're.
Yeah, no doubt.
Leaf out.
The birds are back in York County already.
Huh?
The birds are back in York County already.
The birds,
Bluebirds.
bluebirds, I've already said someone said this saw a bluebird recently. Here, somewhere here. That's the tree report. The planning grant. I have to get together with Bill at some point and write up something about urban treescape. And it's something that's like approachable, it's fine. I have to confess, I'm not into it particularly.
Make a little reward for yourself.
Yeah, I know, it's always good with behind you. Plus, I have to write the town report, which will be not that hard to sit down this afternoon. And I'll email it out to everybody and say, how does this look? Which I do every year. I thank everybody. I tell the town what's going on, how many trees have had to be removed. The fact that they weren't treated. So I agree that our treatment program so far is doing okay. See how long it happens. But I got an email. Biden. It's from Roberta. As the Canby grant moves forward, this $20,000 grant, which is planning it. Which is mostly all the effort and the money is going into woodlot and woodland assessment and recommendations for how to care for those areas. And there's 3 demonstration areas that are going to be used. One is Witherley. One is Greenby. Is out to the dump.
Oh, yeah.
It's adjacent to the dump. And the other one is part of the Hatch Cove down at the very bottom, just past Jeff Ackerman's house there. It's a little part of the estuary of Hatch's Cove. As the county grant moves forward, it has come to our attention that we either need to change the elm tree ordinance into a larger woodland ordinance or create 2 committees. We would very much value your input on this decision. You can respond here, or we can have a phone call. That is better. I did respond and I said, yes, I have an opinion, and I would be happy to talk about it. Haven't heard anything yet. This was on Tuesday. Then the interesting statement is, I guess either way, with the shift away from elms, we may need to consider renaming the Elm Tree Committee the ordinance something like the Shade Tree Committee and ordinance. But your thoughts would be most welcome. Please let me know if we can chat. Personally, I believe the Elm Tree ordinance was written for the care and protection of our legacy elm trees in the United States. There needs to be a little wording change here and there, clarify what the town is responsible for. Like there was a little debate about oak tree on Main Street, Paul Manning's son now. Is that a house you're gonna get recapped? But that big elm, that big oak came down, of course, and we paid for it. It's was a significant piece, but there was a bit of a debate between me and Aaron and the select board about who really pays for that. And I felt it was fell under this significant speech category, which is what the elm tree ordinance discusses.
I think they're confused, that they don't understand that replacing elm tree next to elm tree is actually furthers the disease, and not that when we say don't plant an elm, we don't want another elm tree there. It's
No,
because
no.
we're trying to protect elm trees.
The removal was the issue.
Okay, okay.
Paying of.
But I'm saying as far as renaming it, because it seems to say that we're not always putting an elm tree back. Well, if we did put an elm tree back, we'd be hurting our elm trees. So that's why we're spacing out our elm trees. So we still be planting elm trees, just not in the middle of other elm trees.
That's not what they're talking about here. The shift away from elms may, and I don't quite know what you mean by that.
Well, so, you know, sometimes we to cut an elm, was like, we can't put another elm. We've been recommended to not have elm. So we say, no, let's pick a white oak.
I'm assuming that's where she's going with this, but our focus on elms has never flagged in that we are focused on our elms. This committee right here, focused on elms, period. Not the woodlot off neck. That's not what we spend our time pointing about. And the ordinance should not become mushed in with woodlots.
So it seems that I'm hearing is that you, if asked today what your opinion was, that they need a different committee.
Yeah, and the question is, if you're writing an ordinance about woodlot and woodlot care, most of them are private. There's some public, there's the Witherley Woods and Greenby and stuff like that, but you know, an ordinance is designed to tell people what they can and cannot do. Basically. Right? Or what the committee that oversees that ordinance is charged with doing. And in our case here, we are charged with caring for the elm trees, including removing elm trees that are diseased to prevent disease spread. That's basically what our mission here is.
And I think there's
So
I have a woodlot myself in Orland, and there's tons of resources out there for people with woodlots through the
Yeah.
National Resources Council, through this EQIP program, there's when they used to be federal programs, but then a state program, so I think if they're looking for some help or some money or some advice, is man, you look on the web and there's just plenty of resources already available to them, like, I think we'd be wasting our time to get involved in that.
Oh, yeah, it's not something the committee should deal with at all. So that's, I just wanted to let you hear that. Because for some reason, there's this little bee buzzing around saying, ooh, we need to expand our elementary ordinance to include all this other stuff. I'm like, absolutely not. That's not what the elementary ordinance is for.
I thought you were wavering a little bit.
No,
It's
no,
good
no.
to hear how clear you are.
No. I think other people, I'm not confused. Other people are confused. That's all I want to say about that. We're done with that.
So have you heard anything about the money being in jeopardy because of the overall political picture?
What, our money?
Yes. The
Well, our money comes-
DACF.
Actually, Ina Schoenberg touched base with Jan Santerre, who is the coordinator for the Park Project County in Augusta, and asked that question. And she said, no, doesn't look like that is the case. And the thing is, and I say this every morning, when, like Marty says, oh, they're cutting 65% of EPA. And I'm like, wait. All of this stuff, all the money that is currently allocated from EPA has already gone through the Congress, and Congress has approved the budget, including all this.
That's what the argument is.
And there is no way, what the hell does Musk think he can do, just chopping things down like that? He has no real authority to do that. So I'm really confused about what our government is doing and what Mike Johnson is doing or not doing. What our senators from Maine are doing or not doing. To inform us of what's going on in Washington, because a lot of this money has already been allocated.
Okay,
They can't take it away, right?
theoretically.
What about MMA? You get Fed funds for things?
Oh, we've got people in Augusta right now, there's a big, they're like you said, I don't think anybody knows what's really going on, I believe, so.
Yeah.
No, I asked a question the other day about some stuff, and they're like, yeah, not really sure where we are, and some stuff like that. That's way above my level, but.
My daughter, Leah, lives here in Castine and works for MIT. And when all this started coming down, the whole thing about these elitist institutions like Harvard and Yale and MIT and all, they charge I forget what the name is called, operating budget fee when grants are awarded from the NIH and other government institutions for the research that goes on. They slap a 50% or more fee onto it because they have the buildings, they heat the buildings, they clean the buildings, they have the laboratories, they have all that stuff.
The administration portion.
That needs to be covered, and apparently Mr. Musk doesn't agree with that. So Mr. Trump just sits there and nods his head. What I've heard from Leah is that she's in a law group, it's a technology. It's called OSATT, Office of Strategic Alliances and Technology, something like that, where when Harvard has one, Yale, they all have them, whereby other academic institutions and other private industry interact with MIT. They can provide materials or knowledge to MIT and vice versa to develop products, let's say.
MIT's good at
Drugs, things like that. So there's all this technical patents and materials transfer agreements and. I mean, fusion energy, for example. Commonwealth Fusion Systems is one of the companies that connect with MIT to develop fusion technology. Big deal. And suddenly, there's this move afoot to cut the knees, cut all these programs down off at the knees. And Leah thinks that there's gonna be layoffs in her group. She's one of the managers. And there's gonna be maybe 4 people in her group of 25 that have to go. Mr. Musk. So I don't know, how deeply this is gonna affect us. I have high hopes that November of
26.
27. 27 or 26?
Talking about the midterms?
25, is it 26? 26. It's a bloodbath. Let's see, bloodbath. I mean, so many people, who presumably voted for the current president. And, the tariffs that are due to kick in. Goes inflation, No. Be that as it may,
Come on back.
our grant money, and it's only $20,000, it isn't like a lot of money. But it pays for lawyers and it pays for these foresters who are writing up the data from LiDAR, radar data and all.
Mhm.
I don't know, nobody's gone trooping out into these plots to do assessments on the ground, boots on the ground kind of thing yet, that's what I understand. See, and the notion about how that program, it mentions urban landscape and urban and occasionally in elm, the word elm appears. But all along here, my feeling was that all we're trying to do here is look for some money from the state to help us treat our elm trees and maybe expand our program to include more elm trees that could be treated. And I want to have Bill include the ones down Water Street at the foot of Green, just to the left there. There's about 2 or 3 right in there that are nice. And they're the DBH is only so, but they're nice trees and they add to the streetscape there. We lost the ones at the foot of Dyer Lane. They were nice.
That was huge.
Yeah.
That was huge. True.
And a few years back, we lost the one in front of the Feinberg Murnahan House, which was a beauty. There's a photo of it down in the bank here. Beautiful. It was a beautiful, very lacy home. But we didn't quite get to that in time with our program. So all I want from the state is money. I could write up a very short paragraph saying, our streetscape is just fine. We are planting trees of a different species than elm. Regular basis. Based on what we know about incoming diseases. And we'd like some money, please, to treat more trees. And I'm gonna talk about how we get wonderful support from our residents here that care about these trees. Bang, right there.
I think bang for your buck, I mean, they get pretty, when they give us 25 grand, it gets spent on, you know, what I mean, it's not a loss of something and waste and abuse and everything. Yeah, well, if we get $25 from the elm tree committee, that is definitely going into the elm trees and the plantings and
Into the-
it goes
treatments and
It
the
goes
pruning
into
and the.
primarily the tree.
So yeah, I think that, I mean, definitely I wouldn't be scared to have them go look at our books.
Yeah, well, Karen consumes that money, that is budgeted money, it's not real money, it's budgeted. So we make sure that she writes checks off of that first. So we consume all 25, and then we start digging into the preservation fund. As needed, and we have about 10 left over, I think. Roughly, from last year, maybe it was 9 or something. Which is good because we're gonna have a big year next year for like 30 trees that get treated, so. That's a higher dollar amount, and if we can get some money from the state specifically for. That year, 26. That's, I'll be happy. I'm not gonna say, thanks for your money.
Have we ever reached out to like historic, like this, I know there's money for historical buildings, cause it's in the history, would we be able to, well, actually, elm trees are historical too, with the historical buildings, would you be able to? Reach out towards,
To who?
I don't know, like, I think there's some historical preservation stuff. And I just said, no, if that's something that could be tapped into for elm tree, cause they're historic.
Good question. I mean, we have this historical preservation commission that just got. Apple cider thrown at its face recently. I don't know. They got turned down by the, this project here at the library. The Historical Preservation Commission has kind of a subjective mission. They have to make a call on whether they think something is not in keeping with the historic character. It's all subjective. And they denied the library the wall. They wanted to build the wall. That was the major issue. They didn't have any problem with them putting plantings in the front on the lawn there. But all of the properties along Court are, they go down to the sidewalk. And then suddenly, bang, you're gonna have a wall on one of them. Just isn't in keeping with the speedscape. But the Board of Appeals overruled. Said no. And I heard that Mark was not pleased.
Town report,
Huh?
town report, next on the agenda.
Yes, I'm gonna write up my little annual report. About what we've done this past year. I will circulate it around by email. And then send it to Karen or send it to Sue, and it goes into the town.
When does that due?
Hmm?
When does that due?
Middle of March, but I won't get it done by middle of next week. At the latest. So look for it in your email. That's. I think we're making progress on cleaning up this list.
Yeah.
And our next meeting. It's 9:30. My wife is at a meeting at the hospital as we speak, the clinic. Regarding. What they want to do there, fundraising. To upgrade the clinic. How much do they want? 28th of March. Right.
We'll have green grass at our next meeting.
Hmm?
We'll have green grass at our next meeting.
It's a $6 million fundraising. So do I hear anything else? This was a fairly short meeting. It's good.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Aye. Anything else, Brian? I'll take a peek at.
I think RTC might be further up, but that RTC stump might be at the house further up, but I know it's on that side.
I'll do a drive by. I am driving now, even though Marty dropped me off here. I didn't want to walk across my driveway to get to my car because it was so place.
Yeah, don't be careful with that.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing you could do, probably is do a slip and drive something the wrong way. Do you get creepers? Do you get those little slip on your boot?
I do.
Yeah, that's sort
I do. But even with those, I don't feel confident on ice.
You can't use your cane because then that's slippery with that.
No, that's worse.
Right, so
Yeah.
that's kind of hard.
Marty has a ski pole that she's been using.
With a sharp end that. Yeah, no, it's a smart idea, actually, yeah.
Good idea, but no, I've been pretty careful. I want to get out and do road work. I want to just walk on Red Street. But the problem is that it's two different lines.
Can they give you they
An
want
insert?
it to get to the thing, so there's no sense of putting your pad in your shorter one to even them up right now. Like I've been to a chiropractor, they've done that with me. Have you put,
Yeah.
they have little heel inserts
Yeah.
to make you straight.
Yeah, well, I have an appointment next month, middle of next month. That's the first follow-up. And I'll discuss it then, but I've had at-home physical therapy. I'm like, what's with my leg being different? That's all part of the swelling and stuff that has settled down. I would say it's less.
Yeah.
It was like a freaking inch.
Really?
Yeah. I'm serious. I'm standing there and my left foot is like, whoo.
Staying on stairs sideways, so you can stay up straight.
And it's very difficult to walk that way. So when I walk, I have to put my right foot out here somewhere to feel like I'm balanced and keeping my back from getting off, you know.
Yeah, then you start favoring stuff and then
Yeah.
your
Then you-
muscle here hurts because you're scratching on your hip and stuff, so, well, good luck, you look like you're doing good.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm happy with the progress so far. That's great. Thank you very much for taking time.
All right, guys, you have a great day,
Thank you.
good weekend.
Take care.
So,
And the school is out, right?
Yeah, it's spring break next week.
The Euro,
Yeah, no, we get next Friday off.
Friday.
Yeah, but we have, there'll be harbor masters in town, we have harbor master convention.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Coastal Harbor Masters?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's pretty good, it's really.
Where's it happen? At the Delano or?
Yeah, they have it all around, they have different seminars and stuff like that.
When
they
does
do,
that start?
Monday,
For how many days?
all goes all week.
Really?
Monday through Friday, yeah, yes,
Do you
some of them
house
stay
them in
there,
the-
yeah, some of them stay there, one's from further away, and then the other ones drive every day,
Oh,
but
wow.
yeah, and most, a lot of harbor masters are tied with the local police department, because it's a small town, so you're gonna see all these cars with lights and stuff parked around here, thinking there's an invasion.
What's
or
the
something.
total number that come?
Jeez, I bet 50 probably.
Yeah, I would think.
It's a lot, it's a big turnout.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. They love it too. They all get together and get a chance to, do all the talk on it.
And who, are there certain speakers that do a topic?
Oh, I'm not sure what the setup is. I haven't looked at the details for it so much other than just the stuff that directly affects me right now, but I haven't looked at the actual events and stuff
Cool.
going on. Pretty neat though.
Good.
All right,
All right.
see you guys.
Have you ever been at home on this Zoom? Looking in from outside?
yes,
I think that owl is a really lousy tool. Because sometimes when people are talking, it doesn't
I don't know
show
about
that.
that, but it should say, oh, there's Andy way over there, right hand side, come on.
Do.